Hi, I'm Rachel Sheldrick from the Workshop Whisperer, and in today's YouTube training, we're going to be talking about retention. Now, there's a vital statistic that most auto repair shop owners don't know about how often their customers are returning, so make sure you stay right to the end so that you get the scoop and the tips to ensure that your customers come back to you time and again. Okay, so today we're talking about all things retention for your auto repair shop. What do you think your retention number is year on year? I ask that question often when I'm chatting on the phone or live in person to auto repair shop owners, and most say, it's about, it's really good. If we dig a little deeper though, we actually discover that retention rates are much lower than the shop owner realised. And the reason for that is a little known statistic that the average auto repair shop actually loses 18% of its customer database every year. Now, the reasons for that are as follows. Number one, people move away. We understand that. People move away for work, they make a lifestyle change, and they are no longer your customer. The second reason is that your customer may have decided that they no longer want to use your services anymore and they've gone to your competition. So hopefully that doesn't happen too often for you. And the third reason is that unfortunately, people die. So the three things, people move away, people go to your competition, or they pass on. So 18%, that's almost 1/5 of your database every year is lost to you. And if you didn't know that and your marketing efforts aren't fantastic to bring in new customers, the size of your customer database is actually getting smaller every year. Now, if you have hopes of growing your customer database by 10% this year, in order to do that, you actually need to replace the 18% that's your average attrition for the year, plus add 10%. And that is actually a huge amount of new customers if you think about it. So what are some of the things that you should be doing in order to ensure that your customers return to you loyally time and again? Well, the first thing we have to ask is, are you actually asking your customers to come back after you've done their service or repair? Now, these days, most of you would have software that allows you to set an automatic service reminder. If you're not using software that has that function, it really is time to change. Make sure you check out something like Mechanic Desk. So in your automatic service reminders, you should be able to easily, at the end of the invoice, tick a little box that lets you send the service reminder at a pre-designated time, 6 or 12 months into the future, depending on how you're scheduling your services for your customers. Now, you should also have the capability of setting a reminder for things that might happen mid-service, like perhaps the tyres weren't due when the customer came in then and there for their service, but they will be in 5,000 Ks, or their brakes might need doing in 5,000 Ks. So you can set a reminder to go out for that mid-service, so perhaps 3 months, just to prompt your customer that it's time to come in for that. That is obviously going to be very helpful with your retention rates. Now, the next thing that you should be doing, remember that we're needing to replace 18% of our customer database, is proactive marketing. So what are you doing to ensure that customers, just like the best customers that you have now, your ideal customers, can find you easily and start using you as their preferred mechanic? What work are you doing around understanding who your ideal customers are and where they live? The importance of knowing those things is that you can then find more people like that in those areas with those characteristics. There's some simple ways that you can identify where your ideal average customer live, and one of the easiest ways is doing a silence survey. So you grab a little sheet of paper, just an A4 sheet of paper, and you start recording the postcodes of where your best customers live as they come into you, and you recognize, yeah, this guy's been to me quite a few times. He's nice, he's polite, and he pays our price. He trusts us. So we'll mark down his postcode, and we'll hopefully get some indications as to specific suburbs in your area where your best customers are located. Then you can do some targeted marketing in those areas. So you can use Facebook to do that through targeted marketing when you boost a post, or if you're a bit more advanced, if you're doing Facebook ads. Some flyer drops are still good to do into targeted areas as long as they have a very specific call to action. So make sure that you're identifying who is an ideal customer for you, and that you're proactively marketing into the areas where they come from with the same set of demographics. So for most light vehicle auto repair shops, we're loving mums and dads who have two cars. One's probably a bit newer, the other one a little bit older. One full-time income, perhaps a part-time income as well. But that's not to exclude your other great customers. Might be from single households who just drop the car off, say, do what needs doing, they pay the price, and they're on their way. But the key here is to identify who they are to help you find more people just like that. The final thing that we want to consider in today's training around retention is sending messages, marketing out to your current customer database in order to get them to come back. So this is outside of service reminders. This is where you hopefully have some SMS functionality set up inside your software, or you're using something that's external that you can load your customer database into. Because when we have gaps in our day, it's great to be able to send something out that's quick and responsive, and that's definitely SMS, because we know as a statistic 97% of all text messages are opened within the first 3 minutes. That's very different to an email, which may not get opened at all. The best email marketers get about 20% of their emails opened. So a much better idea to go with text message. Now, when you're sending a text message to your current customer database, you're trying to pick out those who recognize that they actually went past their service due date, they've been meaning to book in, and your text message of you saying, we've got 3 spots available today and tomorrow, give us a call now to book in. That prompts them, because they're at the top of the buying cycle, they've just forgotten to book in. And that's a great way to get your customers to come back again. And then they're reminded of your great service. You can set up your service reminder again and hopefully get them back in on time next time. Now, I often get asked, how many times should we remind the customer that their service is due? And for me, the answer is as many times as it takes for them to come in. Should you be badgering them multiple times per week? No, you shouldn't. But you should be starting to remind them up to a month before they're due to come in that it's coming up. Then at the 2 week before they're due, then when they're due, then when a fortnight past their due time, and then if email reminders aren't working, it's definitely time to pick up the phone and call them. And snail mail also will have an impact, because these days people actually will open their mail and read your letter. So that is more effective in this case than an email reminder. So think about those 3 things, and whether you've got your service reminders set up effectively, whether you're setting reminders for mid-service items like tires and brakes, whether you're marketing effectively to replenish your lost 18% of your database every year by finding more customers who are like the great customers you already have, and making sure that you're messaging your current customer database So the ones that kind of fell out of the service reminder cycle, when they're at the top of the buying cycle, they can take one of your SMSs and give you a call and get booked in again. I hope you found that useful. I look forward to bringing you another training next week.